Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Wake Up Legendary. Happy Monday. It is a holiday here in the States. My kids are excited about sleeping in, having the day off of school, and all of that good stuff. And I get to be here again. I'm totally stoked. We are live. It is Monday, January 15th, just in case somebody's asking. And I'm pumped to be here. I'm excited for you to meet our guest today. I've actually seen her face around in our hot seat, our support 101, different places like that, getting the help that she needs, growing her education as she's been going through this process. So I'm super stoked for you guys to meet her. But for anyone that's new, before I bring her on, if you would like to get a text notification of when we go live, all you need to do is text the letters WUL to 813-296-8553, and we will send a text message within 3 to 5 minutes of this stream going live Monday through Friday, so that you get an alert to join us live as well. And of course, if you want some of your own legendary swag, like I say, your own hat to celebrate and throw down and celebrate your own wins like Dave does, you can head over to BeLegendary.shop and grab all the legendary swag your heart desires. All right, without further ado, please welcome Kimberly to the show. Good morning, Kimberly.
Hi.
Thanks for joining us on a holiday today.
My pleasure.
So share with us how you found Legendary, your background, all of that good stuff.
Oh, gosh. Okay, so originally my husband was looking at ways to make money online, and he found somebody on social media that was talking about a course to learn affiliate marketing. So he ended up joining the 15-day challenge first. And then when he was waiting to talk to an advisor, he kind of lost some steam. And I said, okay, let me take over. I'm going to jump in. Let me help and see how, maybe we could do this together.
Right. Little tag team. I like this.
Originally, yes. So I went ahead and also purchased the 15-day course because I wanted to do my own. I just thought it would be easier that way. So I got into the 15-day course, was absolutely obsessed from the very beginning. I couldn't consume it fast enough. So I did the 15-day challenge. I ended up doing the blueprints, and I just went 100% all in. And the reason why we were looking for ways to make money online is because I'm in real estate. Mm-hmm. And as everybody knows, over the last couple of years, at least where we live, right outside of Boise, the market just took a serious turn, and it's extremely competitive in this market. So it just left me with no income. So I took a corporate real estate job that ended up just being a very unhealthy situation for me.
Right.
At the same time, my husband, about 4 years ago, he had retired from law enforcement after a career in the military and law enforcement. So he was also, we couldn't afford to have him quit and retire, officially. So he took a really stressful sales job. So both of us were in these really high stress jobs. And we just needed to figure out a way to start working towards actual retirement while still paying the bills and making sure money was coming in. So that's when we found Legendary, and it has been an amazing ride. Like, it's just been the best thing ever.
Yeah, I love this. It doesn't matter where you're at in life, what you've done, what experience you have, you get to pivot. You get to change and add a new direction, a new course, a new journey to your life. And I love that, you're not really doing it with your husband at this point, right? This is now all you as far as this side, but maybe he's getting into his own thing, or are you guys kind of tag teaming still?
Well, he appears in my content from time to time for a little bit of comedy. But he did end up quitting. He was able to quit that high stress job. But he's too busy. He wants to stay busy and do this. So he's kind of let me lead with the affiliate and digital marketing piece.
Mm-hmm.
He just took a part-time job to just stay busy. But no, he's kind of let me have this be my own thing, and he supports me through my content.
Yeah, very cool. So I read this on your questionnaire, but definitely dive into this more. When you first joined and started your education with digital marketing, you went into the real estate niche. Do I have that correct?
Mm-hmm.
So describe that journey and how you then decided, I'm going to add another niche and doing that. Because a lot of people, when they start and they jump into blueprints, they're like, I want to do 4 niches. And how was that experience of when you're still learning, jumping into all the different niches?
Well, okay. So as I was going through the course, and your wheels start to spin, you're like, oh, I could do this, and I love this, and this is my hobby, and I have all this experience and can speak passionately about all these different subjects. So you're like, oh, I want to do it all. So pretty quickly, I started my, make money on, because I was passionate about the make money online and wealth niche. But then because I have such a strong background in real estate and real estate investing, it was just a natural place for me to also want to be. So I set up my funnels. I was an affiliate for different learning platforms and different software platforms in the real estate niche as well. And even though I was well-versed in that subject matter, to do 2 niches, especially from the beginning, I found to be way too much. And I ended up making the decision to back away from the real estate niche only because I saw more potential and more value with staying with the make money online and the wealth niche, because I really wanted to build that and nail it and get it right first. Mm-hmm. So I dialed it back to just the 1 niche, and I'm still only in the 1 niche. And at some point when I feel like I've got that up where I really want it to be, then I might venture into a second niche. But I decided I just wanted to focus because it was too much.
Yeah, on Decade in a Day, it is the one question besides where do I find the replay that I answer over and over and over is just focus on 1 niche, 1 set of socials for that niche. It doesn't have to be make money online. It doesn't have to be the wealth niche. It's whatever you're excited about and you want to create content for every day. Mm-hmm. Because you're still learning. And if you're in multiple niches and you're on 3 or 4 different platforms, that's times the number of niches you're in each day. So now we're looking at 2 videos a day times 6, 8 platforms if you're in 2 niches, add another 3 to 4 if you're in 3 niches. Right. And then you're multiplying the mistakes that you're making along the way, right? Because we're all going to make mistakes as we're implementing what we learn, but you're not making a mistake in 1 niche, you're making it across all of them.
Exactly.
And now that is that's a lot to upkeep. That's a lot of overwhelm. And then also making sure you're in the right mindset for that audience. Mm-hmm. Before switching to the next audience and niche, before making content. Otherwise, it's going to get all watered down and muddy and mixed up and just becomes a big old mess too. So I hope everyone understands focus is the key word Kimberly shared here this morning.
Yes. Yeah.
Focus on 1 niche, 1 audience, and see it all the way through.
Yeah, because I found that you don't know what you don't know in the beginning. And as you go through the course and you really start to learn everything that you need to get right with your funnels, with your email campaigns, with your social media content, because social media content, it requires a lot of strategy. And people in the beginning, they don't realize the strategy that goes into really engaging good content. Mm-hmm. And when you're, like you said, when you're spreading that across multiple platforms and multiple niches, there's no way to do it effectively and streamline that if you're in more than 1 niche. You can't kill it in any if you're spread too thin. So That's what I found. So I decided to just scale it back and focus on the one niche. And then maybe at some point,
right,
I'll do another one. But right now I want to focus because I really want to get it right.
Yep, totally. But later on, you're going to have that wealth of experience now under your belt. And it's going to just be different than when you're just starting. Right. And I know everyone, like, I want 12 different offers. How do I put out 12 offers tomorrow?
Well, like, because I think people
one at a time, take it slow and steady to where you're not getting overwhelmed. Because if you have too much out there, there is no focus and direction on the one.
Right.
That you really want to promote. Like, just get something converting and then you add, and then get that converting and then you add. And it doesn't matter what niche you're in, doesn't matter what audience you're going after. That part of the strategy and process is the same.
Right. Yeah. And I think in the beginning too, you think the more offers I have out there, it's going to equal more income. And that's not actually true. If you can convert the 1 or 2 offers you do have, that will actually turn into more income than if you had 12 offers out there.
Right. Well, it's kind of like, it's not kind of, it's just like, if I don't want to dial in my audience, I want to try and reach the entire world kind of thought process.
Right.
I want everyone will want to buy from me and take my recommendations. And it doesn't work like that. No, if you try to reach everyone, you connect with no one.
Exactly. 100%. And that's what I found. And also, I've had to make some pretty significant pivots in my business since I started, because my target audience, and Dave and I talked about this when I was on the first time, my target audience in the beginning, because, we're a military family. My husband was a first responder for 27 years. That was going to be my target originally. But what I found in my content was that it ended up triggering too many people, and my TikTok accounts were getting taken down because I had a blue line flag in the background, so it ended up, I had to do some pretty significant pivots. And I think if you're spread too thin and you've got too much going on, you don't have the headspace to make those decisions because you're just frantic.
Right. So with that, pivots are going to happen, guys. And you won't know what you need to adjust until you're actually in it and taking action. If you're stuck planning, you just won't know what adjustments you're going to need to make for your audience, for your social media accounts, not get flagged, to not trigger people, whatever, or just adjust. Once you see how content's performing, the type of engagement, a lot of times your engagement will show you who is showing up to your content more, and then you can make those small tweaks to speak to them more.
Yes.
Would you agree to that as well?
Yes. Pay attention to your insights, because if you're looking at every social media platform has insights. So if you're paying attention to who's watching your videos, where they're from, if they're male, female, whatever, the demographic, you can start speaking to the pain points and the solutions that those people have. And, do your storytelling content, and people will relate to you and engage with you if they understand who you are. For sure.
So let's talk taking quitting off the table, because you've already mentioned probably 4 different instances where half the people watching this would have already quit. Oh, if I have to change my audience, I failed. I better quit. Oh, I can't do multiple niches. It's going to be too much for me. I failed. I got to quit. How did you push through, especially in the beginning, when you had to keep your mindset of, it's not about failing and quitting. It's about adjusting and keep going. But what did you work through in your head as you worked through those pieces?
Oh gosh, the struggle is real. So there's been a lot of things that I have had to just, it's funny, my husband and 2 of our sons are Marines. And one of the things that they say in the Marine Corps a lot is just embrace the suck. And so I've had that in my head a lot when I feel like my content, I'm doing the same content as somebody else and theirs is performing better, theirs goes viral and mine doesn't. And I'm having trouble with, the comparison thing. I struggled with that a lot. And I still do from time to time. I have to put blinders on. I had to take quitting off the table. Like whenever those thoughts creep in, it's like, nope, not going there. Okay. So if you have to take a break that day and come back tomorrow, that's okay. If you don't get a piece of content out that day, it's okay. Take the mental break that you need, if that's what you need, and come back tomorrow. But come back tomorrow. Don't quit, because if you look back and celebrate the small wins, don't be so target locked on the end result and the goal that you have right now that you're forgetting to celebrate the small wins along the journey. And, I saw a saying on social media one day. It was a meme, and it said, remember when you used to pray for the things that you have now. Right. And it was like, yep. Because I remember when I first started, one of my big goals was, I want to be on Wake Up Legendary. I want them to, I want to be to a point where they just want to talk to me and they want to interview me. Now, this is my second time on Wake Up Legendary. And if you'd have told me 6 months ago that I would be here twice, I'd been like, that'd be so amazing. And I don't want to lose that excitement for my little accomplishments that I've made along the way, because I'm so focused on like, I need this income goal and I haven't reached that income goal yet. Right. So I think focusing on the journey and the things that you are accomplishing go a really, really long way.
Because there's a lot. People forget how much if you really sit back and look, who was I as a person before I even started the challenge or started down this path of learning to what I am now, and kind of even how your mindset is, it's probably has changed. Would you agree? What changed for you compared to when you started this whole online digital marketing journey to now?
Well, mine's pretty significant. So when the real estate market was terrible, it forced me to get a corporate real estate job for a luxury home builder. And not to speak negatively about anything, but it literally was probably the most toxic and unhealthy job scenario that I've ever been in my life. Wow. And so I was extremely motivated to make this work. And that drive and motivation allowed me to walk away from that unhealthy situation and just do this from home, where I can work with my dogs and I have peace and I don't have all the stress that comes along with, a 9-to-5 job. So with those changes, I've lost 75 pounds since I started this journey, because I have the headspace to make good decisions. I sleep better. I'm a healthier, happier person in almost every area of my life. And that is no joke. It's been unreal. In addition to all the learning and growth on the business side.
You finally realized what can happen when you put you first for a while.
Yes.
It's really what it sounds like to me.
Yeah. The empowerment that I've felt over the last 7-8 months since I've been doing this it makes you feel like, if I can do this, what else can I do? Okay, let's go. I mean, it just fills you with this self-empowerment and confidence. It's like, all right, what's next? What are we going to do next?
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing. If I had a hat, this is when we would be throwing the hat. We were throwing hats down this morning, our pretend hats. I need to bring one in. I always keep them in my Jeep for when the top's down. But
I've got a hat. Here, I'll throw it. I've got a hat. I'll throw it.
There we go. We got a hat throw. I love it. I think that is the secret sauce that people don't realize that is going to happen. When you focus on you and prioritizing you and stop worrying about making everybody else happy and you happy last, It feeds into all areas of your life, into your relationships, into your self-care, into everything.
Yeah. And put blinders on. That's my biggest, I think my biggest suggestion, don't compare your journey to anybody else, because you learn differently. You'll navigate this differently, and you'll do it in your own time. But if you take quitting off the table, there's only two outcomes. Either you quit and you are not successful, or you keep going until you're successful. Those are the only two outcomes. So,
this is for the parents out there. And you can, I always think of, those days where it's just not a great day with the little ones. And you're just, we're not going to get dressed today, or we're not winning certain battles today. And we're just going to start again tomorrow. We're going to just release on certain, it's just been a rough day. But it doesn't mean we're quitting parenthood. It doesn't mean we're walking away, right?
Right.
It's just like, you know what? We're gonna try going to the store tomorrow. Instead of today.
It is very similar. You just have, and it's okay to take a break. If you need a break, take a time out. I did that this last week. My social media was not cooperating. TikTok was glitching. I had recorded this really awesome video, spent all the time to edit it, and then I couldn't get it to actual post, and I lost it. And I was so frustrated. I was like, okay, I just need to take a break. And it's okay to do that. You can give yourself grace. Just don't quit.
Yes, absolutely. Because there is no boss sitting there going, did you do this today? This today? Check, 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 check.
Right.
You're only answering to yourself. So if you need a moment in that day, that doesn't mean give up on yourself. But if you need a moment, let's go after this again tomorrow, because part of this journey is self-care.
For sure. Yeah. And there's power in making that decision for yourself and saying, you know what, this is up to me. And if I need to take a break for the rest of the day and come back tomorrow, it's my decision to make. And it's all about you. Yeah. So yeah, it's all these things until you experience this. But once you start to experience it, you're like, okay, that's what they're talking about. And there's confidence. It builds your confidence. If you keep coming back, it's easier to keep coming back after you've shown yourself that you can do that. And then you've shown yourself that you're going to keep showing up for yourself and the commitment that you made. That in itself is powerful, because you're building yourself up.
Yeah. And just finally not quitting at something.
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody's going to suck in the beginning. Everybody.
And it's such a hard thing to embrace, but you're right. We got to embrace the suck, guys. And we're all doing it, right? Every single person that's new. And the ones that just keep pushing forward through it.
Yeah. Yep.
You're going to see light, but you just got to keep going. Keep asking questions, looking at your content with marketing glasses on, and embracing everything. Yeah.
There's so much help out there. There's, not only the amazing legendary support groups on Facebook, and that by itself is huge, but there's also Facebook mentorship groups for, some of the big affiliates. I have a free mentorship group. So there's help out there. You just have to ask for it and find it.
Right. Yep. So you have to be willing to ask.
Yes.
And if you find yourself just complaining about not like what's holding you back, but never actually asking for a solution to what's holding you back, that's kind of on you guys.
This is not the business to be stubborn. If you have a question, I think there's this, you need to be able to dive in and try to find, be resourceful, try to find answers to your questions on your own, and find that within you to just keep pushing. But if you can't figure it out, there's help and support. You're not in this alone. So use the resources that you have. They're here on a silver platter. All you got to do is ask.
Yeah. It's so true. It's so true. You're just playing victim card if you're not willing to ask.
Right. Yeah.
You're not willing to ask. And
this is not a place for a stubborn mindset. You have
I've never heard it described that way. And I love that. That's so true. It isn't. You have to release this stubbornness, I got to do it all myself. That's it. I'm going to do this on my, you have to release that piece and embrace the people around you that are going through the same thing, but some may be in a little bit, everyone can give you advice and support. And there's something about being surrounded by those going through the same journey, struggles, wins, right?
Yeah. There's so much knowledge and power and help, with reaching out, and just everybody, just in the Legendary Facebook group alone. If you put a question out there, you're going to have 50 different answers. Right. And all those different perspectives are so amazing and useful. You just have to take the time to go, okay, it's time to ask for help.
Right.
And not just walk away and give up, but like go, okay, now it's time to ask for help, and you'll get it.
Yeah. It really comes back to focus. Do you want to focus on for reasons to quit, or you want to focus on reasons and ways to overcome your roadblocks?
Yeah. Remember your why. Mm-hmm. Remember your why. Why are you here? Why did you start this journey in the first place?
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
You have to go back through these comments. They're pretty amazing towards our story and all of that afterwards.
Okay.
For sure. I just wanted to give you that heads up.
I have a quote on my wall from Zig Ziggler, and I look at it every single day. It's, if you are not willing to learn, no one can help you. If you are determined to learn, no one can stop you. So that's a quote that I have internalized over and over and over. And so it's that determination that's going to make you successful.
Yeah, it really is. It comes back down to that. And no one else can do that for you. That's what's hard to embrace. Mm-hmm. You can't sit here and just buy a course and have it done for you.
Right. And I've had
that fixed for you.
It's funny that you say that, because a friend of mine, she's been seeing my content, because I've been showing my content to like my personal world, because there's people in my personal world. I don't hide my content from my real life people. And a friend of mine reached out to me just the other night, and she said, I was looking at Legendary, because I've been talking to her about Legendary and the course. And she was looking at another course, and she said, but this place, they do it all for you. They build your funnels. And I'm like, let me caution you, because if you've got a person who's saying they're going to build your funnels for you, what happens when they're not around in a year, and you want to, or tomorrow when you want to tweak your funnel or tweak your campaigns, or you don't know how to do it? Mm-hmm. There's value in you taking the time to learn all of these systems about your business so that you can effectively run it. She's like, oh, that's a really good point. I hadn't thought of that. So, when you mention that, it's like, yeah, take the time to learn all the different pieces and parts, because you'll thank yourself later. Don't take the easy way out.
And how do you know that they're building a good funnel for you? What if they make changes down the line for you and you don't know why they made those changes?
Right.
You can't fully understand the strategy behind it. And what if they disappear?
Yeah.
And you're probably paying a monthly service fee or a percentage of what that funnel brings in. That's the other kicker, that people end up paying a lot of money on the back end on top of the funnel software for done for you. I've seen people in our industry really there was someone out there offering a free funnel.
Yeah.
But they had in their contract, they get 25% up to the first $30,000 that you sell within that funnel. And it was just held to, like, you were just in this, signed contract with Ursula almost. Right. And they were awful funnels. They were really bad.
And you're giving
really careful, guys. Knowledge is power. Yes.
And you're giving control of your business to somebody else.
Right.
And that right there is like, I don't want anybody else controlling my business, because if something happens, Your funnel is the most important. Your content and your funnel are the most important elements to your systems and your business. And if that goes down, you're dead in the water. So you need to know how to fix and tweak it.
Think about it this way too, guys. Many of us have big goals. If we're really going to like future pace, like this could be something really big. And that means you're going to have to hire people, hire contractors, hire staff possibly that work for you in your business now. Like let's go really big in our thought process, because that's a possibility. You won't know who to hire and if they're qualified if you don't know what to look for.
Right.
Because you don't have that knowledge, because you had someone else that everything has always been done for you. But if you can gain that knowledge first, you're going to have better hires. You're going to know exactly what your business needs, instead of going, I know I need somebody to help me with social media, but I'm not really sure what skills to look for, because you weren't doing it yourself.
Right. And you can waste a lot of time and a lot of money going that route. And likely you're going to end up in a place where you're like, okay, I got to learn this.
And I've seen people go down there. They're like, I'm going to contract people off of Fiverr for all the parts, run my social media, make my funnel, write my emails. But they are too new to the industry. They didn't know who they were hiring. And they were like $2,000 here, $3,000 there, another $2,000 here. And everything was a mess. And none of it was speaking to each other. And it just, there was no brand. There was no congruency. There was no voice. There was nothing. It was just, they were left with a mess and a big bill.
Yeah. Yep.
And they're looking for easy. And the reality is, I would be very cautious of people promising easy, like no work, overnight, make money tomorrow.
Don't take the bait.
That's not what this is. If you're looking for that, that's not us. You got to put in the work. You got to learn the skills, and we encourage you, because that's what you can take with you for years.
Yep. Well, I mean, just this morning, I was tweaking my funnel. I changed my picture. I changed some of the, the words, because I wanted it to be, like you said, more congruent with like some of my other content and my brand. So I've been kind of tweaking some things. And if I had a done for you situation, I wouldn't know how to do that. And I'd probably have to wait a month for someone to make these changes for me. So that knowledge is extremely powerful and valuable to you in your business.
Right. And if you're going to end up making all the changes yourself and figuring it out, then now you're just throwing money at someone that you didn't need to in the beginning anyways.
In my, it's true. Because I own a real estate brokerage, and even though I'm not actively working the real estate, we still have the brokerage, and I have agents that work with me. And when I first started my brokerage, I paid an ad agency like $10,000. And they didn't build my website. I had already anyway, they did all this work for me, and I threw $10,000 at these people, and I didn't get one single lead out of all of that. Not one. And so it ended up, if there's not a better example of that, I don't know what is. So it's learning how to do these things yourself is the only way, I think, to truly be successful. That's why the blueprints are so amazing. I mean, it is every detail you need to know to get your business set up and running.
Yep. And what else is cool about it that I think people don't realize, especially starting out, because most people come into the challenge and the focus is affiliate marketing. But if you love funnel building, because there's people out there, that's what they love. So that's what they create their business around as a service.
Right.
If you love writing and copy, you can put all your focus into copywriting, and all of those pieces are in your education here. It's just allowing doors to keep being open and following the path of your interests and going down and learning the skills and keep moving forward. I mean, Ryan Halbert, one of our marketing coaches here, perfect example. He was a mechanic, and he took the challenge, got some stuff going, started learning how to do this, got sick with COVID, and thankfully already had some social in his funnel set up and was bringing in money while he was in the hospital, very sick.
Oh,
during
wow.
that time. And then when he's thankfully got better, obviously, and went further down digital marketing, further down his education. And he kept going through the doors that interest him. And now he's a marketing coach
Yeah.
here with us. You just never know where your path is going to take you as long as you just start and you're open to what's possible.
Yeah, you start learning this business and all the different tools. And then when you marry that with your background and your passions, you're like, oh, I got an idea. And nobody might be doing that yet. Kind of, build a funnel to capture people who are building an online business and they need help with copywriting. So you're going to be the copywriter for their business. I mean, it really is like you can use this business model to be pretty much anything you want.
Yeah.
It's so powerful. That's what I have learned. And that's why I'm so passionate about it, is because it's like what you can do with these skills is unreal. It's really unreal.
Yeah. I was talking with my sister-in-law last night, actually, at dinner. She loves quilting. And she has spent all of this money on a long arm. If you're in the quilting world, that's a huge, it's taking up like her entire living room. She's taken classes and now people are coming to her asking for help to learn how to use it and whatnot. And there's different things and she just loves with quilting. And I'm like, you need to set up some online courses, some entry level where we can film it once.
Yeah.
And you just build your whole quilting community. You can have quilting affiliate links. You can have some quilting courses. Yeah. And then if you want to actually quilt for people because they don't want to do it themselves, you can have that premium service that you want to offer. And like her eyes were like, oh.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, well, you just need to let's bring some of this online and get some income rolling for you instead of it always being a quilting expense. Let's figure this out. You can monetize just about anything.
You can. Yeah. I have a friend who's he's starting like a catering business. He does barbecue. And, he's got his trailer and all that. And so he's been asking me questions about like, well, how do I capture emails and how do I do email marketing? So he and I are having that conversation and I'm helping him get some things going with his business. So, even real life businesses that aren't online, you can utilize these skills to increase your reach and increase your business exponentially.
Yeah. I mean, Dave said it before, nothing disappoints him more when he's at a restaurant and no one in any way, shape, or form has asked him for an email address or any way to ask for a follow on their social media and connect with them digitally.
Yeah. It's where it's at.
Because it's huge. I mean, my husband and I, we have a brick and mortar business that I've had since I was 21. I don't walk in that building, but maybe once a year at this point. Everything's he handles it, but everything's set up digitally. How we get leads, paid everything comes up, emails, it's all automated. There's funnels, all of that's done and set up. I couldn't imagine marketing it without, flyers on the car? I think we used to do before everything was online.
Yeah, you have the
mailers out, like postcard mailers. That was crazy back then.
Yeah, you have the little flags that you put your phone number on and they take the tag. Remember those?
Yeah, totally.
Gosh.
Every business that exists needs digital marketing.
For sure. 100%.
And at the bare minimum, you can take these skills and go get a job.
Oh, yeah.
In somebody's marketing department because you have skills that they're not teaching in college because those professors never learned digital marketing.
Right.
And to get hired in marketing, you need digital marketing skills.
Yeah.
And that's what's cool. I challenge everyone this morning to think bigger, to think about really what's possible, but it just means taking quitting off the table and to keep stepping through open doors and where your interests go as you're learning.
Right. Yeah, because when you start, you have zero idea of what this is going to blossom into because you have to just start the journey And then like you said, all those doors just begin to open and you're like, oh, I could do this. Or, it's almost, it could be overwhelming just because of all the options and all the things you could do. Making that decision of how you're going to apply it.
Right. And it just, the word of the day, focus.
Yeah.
Pick one, focus, and then keep going and keep moving forward.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. When I started focusing on who my audience was going to be and I really dialed that in, that's when I started to get some traction. Because like you said, if you're talking to everybody, you're speaking to no one. So it seems counterintuitive to want to niche down, but it's true. Niching down and getting very specific with your message is going to increase your engagement and the people who relate to you. Right.
So let's talk a little bit, because we even have it in the title, because I know you have really focused on your content strategy. How do you feel like that content strategy shifted from the start to where you are now? What really helped you gain more momentum?
So when I had to pivot away from my initial target audience, that was a hard decision because I was really passionate about the first responders and passionate about their struggles and their pain points. And, nobody gets into, being a public servant because they want to get rich. They do it because it's an honorable profession and they feel a calling, right? But with that comes financial hardship for most first responders. And so to me, in my head, that was like, this is my perfect target audience because I can speak to them and I know them and I can relate to them. But when it ended up being such a political topic on social media, I had to just pivot away from that. So then it became, okay, well, my people are people my age. They're wanting to retire. They're wanting to work less, but still travel and spend time with their family. So they're starting to move away from climbing the corporate ladder and caring about status. Now they just want to relax a little bit and enjoy their family and travel and spend time with their grandkids. So that was the shift that I needed to make. And I really got laser focused on who my target was. So I speak to the things that they think are funny, the things that they want to accomplish, whatever. I did a video the other day about now that my husband and I are home a lot. I'm home. I work from home. I do everything from home. And he just works very, very part-time. So we're home a lot. So I did a funny video about like how I'm trying to relax and he's like cleaning the kitchen and I'm trying to relax and he's vacuuming, but it can speak to the frustration of like, oh, now I got to help clean because my husband's home and now being home together. So just really understanding and speaking to what that person's life looks like. And filling them with the confidence and knowing that they can do it too. Like, I'm just like you. I didn't have a marketing degree. I didn't have a following. I didn't have any of these skills that I needed to be successful, but I just took quitting off the table and they came. Like, I dug in and I was committed to myself, and through that's how I found the success that I've been having. So telling my story and not being afraid to share who I am, what I've struggled with. And that's been, I think, the biggest aha moment is don't hide who you are, because that's what people want, authenticity. Yeah. They want to know who you are. They want to know, like, and trust you. So don't be afraid, because people are going to embrace you. And I think that was the biggest piece for me, is just not caring about getting judged. It's like, judge me. It's fine.
You ultimately shifted to creating content that your ideal audience can relate to, connect with, and go, oh, she understands me. I had that moment with my husband last week. Okay, I'm following this chick. What else does she have to say, right? Instead of focusing on the offer.
Right.
There's a difference, and that's really hard for those that are new to grasp. As much as we share it, and really your content has to connect to who you want to be online friends with.
Yeah.
Not the actual offer.
Yeah. And show, like when I started showing my personality in my content, like not having to be polished all the time and perfect and look at, this is my perfect life and this is what I'm offering you, buy it from me. Right. When I started to show my silly side, like I'm kind of a dork. And so when I show my silly side and dance and do all the dumb things, and I just drop that veil of caring what people think, that's what performs, and that's what people like and want to see more of. So it's like, so you actually like who I really am then. So, okay, I'll do more of that. And just not feeling like it has to be perfect and polished, because nobody likes perfect and polished.
And then you're acting. It's not really you. And man, after a while, if you're putting out a couple videos a day, like that gets hard pretending to be someone else all the time.
Yeah, it does. And when you feel like, well, what if they don't like it? It's like, well, if they don't like it, then those are not your people.
Exactly. And it's okay. We're going to help. You're going to find the people that do like it, that do embrace it, that do relate to it.
Yeah. Because I've had my fair share of people that have had horrible things to say. But it's like, you know what? It's fine. It's fine. You're not my people. You're not who I'm talking to anyway.
Yep. You're like, goodbye.
Bye.
We won't be friends in real life, so we won't be online friends either. Exactly. That's really what it comes down to. I'm not inviting you to my house for a barbecue, so I'm not inviting you to my social media platform either.
Right. Yeah. And you just you can't care. You can't spend time and energy caring what the people who you're not talking to anyway care, or what they think. You just have to be like, I'm talking to my people, and my people are going to love it.
Absolutely. And then you have raving fans.
Yes.
And then you have an excited group of people that also you're now more excited and driven to keep showing up for.
Yes.
It's very reciprocal, because remember, guys, social media is meant to be social.
Yes.
Not salesy.
Yes.
We got to build our online friends first.
Yeah. Yeah. I think my best converting content is my content where I don't have any makeup on, and I just rolled out of bed, and I look like I got pillow marks on my face or whatever. That's the real authenticity that people relate to, and they comment on, they engage with it. And that's what gets the follows, because they're like, okay, she's normal just like me. If she can do it, I can do it.
Right. Yeah. And that's really what it is. And the online space is always changing. I remember a time where everything had to be polished and fancy lighting and backdrops, but now everyone's like, oh, it's so made up.
Yeah.
Everyone was looking the same, sounding the same. And now really what gets you following is just show up as your awesome, weird, crazy, amazing self, and find the other people that resonate with it and embrace it.
Yep. And another recommendation, I would say, another tip, and I have struggled with this since day one. If somebody is going to troll you, don't engage. Don't try to change their mind. Don't try to, you can make content from negative. It's an opportunity to show people how they're wrong, and to have that conversation. But don't engage with trolls. Just block them and be done. They will bring more heartache and more stress than it's worth. And I let a troll get in my head last week, and it was brutal. There were some vicious things that this person said to me, and it really got in my head for a couple of days. And then I was like, nope, and
that was their goal. Because they're just unhappy people in life, and they're the ones yelling at, waiters and waitresses and people at the checkout counter, and they get online and they're bummed about their life, and they can feel better about themselves because they're going to put someone else down.
Yeah.
Block them and be done. And when you engage with them, you're actually fueling them. They're getting more excited about it. They're like, yeah, I got somebody upset. I'm in charge. They feel empowered from that. So don't give them that power. And also don't give them the power that you quit because of those trolls. They don't get to decide that. Block them and be done.
Yeah, this person had said some pretty nasty things about another legendary affiliate that is, I wouldn't say a friend, but somebody I'm in their mentorship group and I respect and admire what they've accomplished. And this person was just vicious. And I, just made a comment in defense of like, hey, come on, that's just adding to the bad view of, affiliate marketing. And I absolutely got shredded, just shredded online. So I was like, okay, bad move. I should have and here I was just trying to defend somebody. And so that is probably one of my number one. I think that's been something that I've had people in my personal life that have moved into this and are starting to get into digital marketing, is they're like, well, the trolls are really, I'm kind of worried about that. And how do you handle it? It's like, I just don't. If you try to handle it, you will fail. It will only damage your headspace. So just block them.
In a totally different realm, whether you like this family or you don't really like this family, any post that you see about the Kardashians, there is as many negative and nasty comments as there are positive than at any point. And it just exists for every single person out there. It doesn't matter if you're in the NFL, you're a celebrity, just an online marketer with a smaller following that's not at 3 million, 4 million followers. It doesn't matter.
Right.
They're always going to be trolls, and you can't empower them by making decisions based off of their comments.
Right. Protect your mindset.
Yeah.
Your mindset is the core of what you're doing and how you do it. So you have to protect and nurture your mindset every day. And if somebody's hurting your mindset, cut it out.
Yep. I love this, Rebecca. Just bless and block.
Yeah. I love that. Yes, Rebecca.
Rebecca, you got it. I love that. Bless and block. Bless you.
Oh, bless your heart.
Your heart.
Yes.
I absolutely love that. That's my new quote. I'm going to use it on Decade and Day. Just bless and block, guys.
Bless and block. I'm going to use that. I hope she doesn't mind. I'm going to use that. That's a good one.
I know. Everyone give Rebecca credit for that one, because that's an amazing little phrase right there. Just bless and block. I love it. Yeah. Well, this has been amazing. Thank you for coming back on. I know we're going to have you on for a third time. So be on the lookout as you continue to grow, and you and I will chat further as well too. Keep me posted on how business is going.
I will.
And I know you're slowly adding offers and different things to your business, which is awesome. I love seeing that, and seeing you're deciding the pace of that growth to where you're comfortable and it's not hurting what you've already started. And that's the way to properly add to your business. Instead of like start a new one, stop that one, start a new one. It should be about enhancing and expanding, and I see you doing that, and it's awesome and it's beautiful. So definitely keep us posted on how all of that is going.
I will. Thank you.
Well, thank you for coming on. So we'll definitely have you back.
Okay.
All right, everyone, please go give Kimberly a follow on TikTok at create_wealth_online. That is create_wealth_online. That is on TikTok. And then you can also find Kim on Instagram at create_wealth_online Kim. So it's just a little change at the end for Instagram. Go find her. I know she's active in our Facebook groups and in our community and whatnot as well. She has her own Facebook group. You can find her on Facebook. Go give her a follow. Let her know that you found her on Wake Up Legendary. And this has been a great episode. I saw a few of you said you joined late. Go start it over at the beginning. I always recommend that because they're always great. I've just been in love with all of our episodes over the last few months. They've just been bringing a ton of value. And I hope all of you are taking notes and pulling out the nuggets. And we will be back tomorrow with another guest. As always, stay legendary.